and this is my story for the day. Back when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I decided to start cooking for myself. I was hungry, and so instead of waiting around for anything to be cooked, and instead of just making myself a simple peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I decided to actually start cooking something. So I went to the cupboards and started making macaroni and cheese, or whatever it was to be actually cooked. Following a recipe and looking at directions and what have you. And so years went by, and of course during my senior year of high school, I only required, since I was going to the vocational school for the second half of the day, and at the actual high school campus, I only needed, there was only 2 required classes that I had to, actually pass, but in order to be considered a student on said campus, I had to take 3. So there was the cooking class, and, foods in general, learning about the basic food groups, and some say there were 4, some people say there was 5, some people say there was 8, what have you. Anyway, so one time we were making we were making our own lasagna. We actually had to have the powder and, the flour and the eggs and everything else, to make the noodles, and roll up the dough, and cut them into little pieces and send them through one of those little, kind of like one of those old, wash tub bringer things, what with the rollers like this. The pasta machine, the rollers were only about this big, so and then cut them up and boil them and what have you. And one of the people in my group, because we had to do this all in groups of 3, maybe 4. One said, "Hey, how do we know when it's done?" And so one of the other people in my group said, "Well, let's see." He takes some tongs and sticks it in, grabs one of the noodles, and it's done. So we made our own lasagna, and for so many days, while we'd be doing whatever we were doing in class, I would still be looking up at the ceilings like, is that everything ever going to come down? And well, time passes on, and of course I graduated in high school, and subsequently moved down to Hollywood. And back in, fast forward to 1991, it's about 3 years later, and I moved back. And then about a year after that, it's 1992, and the drummer of the band I was in, during the high school, who I'm still friends with, he says, "Hey, there's this place over at your school where they sell sports cards and stuff like that." And I said, "Oh, well, let's go over there and see it." And so he's looking for baseball cards, or maybe football cards, maybe both. And I also noticed that they have comic books. I've been collecting a lot of comic books, and for quite a few years. But however, these comic books were all things that were created by Clive Barker. Clive Barker, of course, is the creator of Hellraiser and Nightbreed and Candyman, among many other things. And and he actually had his own line of Marvel comics. So I've been reading these things, for years, and I wonder if they had any back issues of the ones that I missed. And so as we're over there, I noticed that it's over at my school, and it's actually in the same building where my cooking class was. Now, it's not in the same room, but then I remember that this particular building, it had those fold-up walls, that they were basically like curtains, and then you just opened up into a nice big vast space. And I walk over, I'm just like, "Hey, wait a minute." And I walk over and I look up. Yes, after 4 years, it's still there. No one ever decided to look up, or maybe they did look up, but nobody wanted to get a stepladder and, still there after all these years. And that's my story for the day, and good day to you.